Welcome to the Wholistic Productivity Podcast. I'm your host, Chris LeBrun, helping you achieve your goals in every area of life so you can dream big, plan smart, and live fully. Working longer is not a productivity strategy. It's a sign that something else is broken and you're too tired to figure out what. Let me ask you something. When you fall behind, when the to-do list is overflowing and the deadlines are stacking up and you can't seem to get ahead, what's your first instinct? For most people, the answer is the same. Work more, stay later, get up earlier, grind through the weekend, pour more hours into the problem until it goes away. And I get it. It feels like the responsible thing to do, like you're taking the situation seriously, like you're doing whatever it takes. But here's the reframe that I want to offer you today. In most cases, not all, but most, falling behind is not a time problem. It's a focus problem. And adding more hours to a focus problem doesn't fix it. It just gives you more time to be unfocused in. I lived this firsthand at a job I had several years ago. And when I tell you I was in meetings, I mean, I was in meetings. We're talking 60% of my day, sometimes more, just gone. Back to back to back. And the work, the actual work that needed to get done, it was still sitting there waiting for me when that last meeting finally ended. So I did what any responsible person in that situation does. I stayed late. I worked weekends. I squeezed every available hour I could find to make up the gap. And for a while, longer than I would like to admit, actually, I told myself that that was just the job. That's just what it took. But here's the thing. The late nights and the weekend work weren't the problem. They were the symptom. The actual problem was a meeting culture that had completely swallowed the workday and left no room for the work itself. Unproductive meetings, redundant meetings, meetings about meetings, hours and hours of time that felt busy but produced almost nothing. I could see it clearly. I just couldn't fix it because I was middle management. And if you've ever been middle management, you already know exactly what I mean. You have just enough responsibility to understand what's wrong and not quite enough authority to change it. So you just keep showing up, keep staying late, keep solving the symptom instead of the problem. It wasn't until there was a change in leadership that the meeting culture finally got addressed. And when it did, when we actually looked at which meetings were necessary, which ones could be an email, which ones needed to be shorter or less frequent, something remarkable happened. The work didn't get harder, it got possible. The late nights got shorter, the weekends opened back up. Not because anyone worked harder, but because we finally fixed the right problem. That's the lesson I want you to take from this today. When you are behind, before you automatically reach for more hours, stop. Ask yourself whether you're actually short on time or whether something about how you are working is broken. Because those are two very different problems with two very different solutions. Are your hours being swallowed by commitments that aren't moving your priorities forward? Are you spending your best focus on low-value tasks and then trying to do your important work on fumes? Are you solving problems reactively all day and wondering why you never make progress on the proactive stuff? More hours won't fix any of that. Awareness will. And then a decision to change the system, not just push harder inside a broken one. So here's your challenge this week. Next time you catch yourself thinking, I just need more time, pause and ask yourself instead, where is my focus actually going right now? Because I'd be willing to bet the time is there. It's just being spent on the wrong things. Work smarter is a cliche, but it became a cliche because it's true. Let's pause here for a quick break. We'll be right back. If you've ever gone down the rabbit hole of trying every to-do list or project management app, you know how exhausting it can be. You download the app, you set it up, enter all your data, and then scramble to cancel it before the trial ends. Trust me, I've been there and it's no fun. That's why I love Efficient.app. Alex and Andra, a husband and wife team, have spent over a decade testing and reviewing software of all types so you don't have to. Calendars, project management, banking, planners, email marketing, you name it, they've covered it with honest reviews and side-by-side comparisons. And they don't sugarcoat it. If a tool isn't worth your time, they tell you straight up. I've personally found their reviews super helpful when I was trying to sort through different project management apps. It saved me a ton of time and frustration. Best of all, they often have special deals on the tools they recommend so that you can save money. I'm especially grateful to Efficient.app because they've been supporting the Wholistic Productivity Podcast since the very beginning. The best way to check them out and support the podcast is through the link in the show notes. So next time you're looking for software, let Efficient.app do the work for you. Trust me, you will not regret it. A few days ago, I was out doing some trail running, headphones in, legs pumping, doing my thing, when a song came on that I've probably heard hundreds of times. It's a Foo Fighters track that's been on my running playlist forever. You know, it's one of those songs you know every word, and yet something in that moment out there on that trail made me hear it completely differently. The song was Best of You, and if you're not familiar with it, the chorus asks this question: is someone getting the best of you? Now, I'll be honest, in that moment, I had to slow down. Not because my legs gave out or because I was winded. Okay, maybe that was a tiny factor. But I had to slow down because my brain was spinning. Because somewhere on that trail, I realized that Dave Grohl wasn't just singing a rock anthem. He was asking me a question that I hadn't been honest about in a while. Here's what I mean. So many of us, and I'm raising my hand here too, we give our best to everything and everyone around us. Our jobs, our relationships, the expectations other people have placed on us. And sometimes, honestly, we hand our best hours straight to a social media algorithm and just scroll until we're numb. When we do that, we lose ourselves in the mix. We stop getting the best of us. And the reason that we do it is actually kind of noble on the surface. We don't want to be selfish. We've been conditioned to think that giving to others is always the right move, and holding something back for yourself is somehow wrong. But here's where that logic falls apart. If you're running on empty, you can't show up for anyone else. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if I'm broken, depleted, and running on fumes, I'm not giving my best to my kids, to my wife, to my work, to the people I care most about. I'm giving them the leftovers, my exhausted, distracted, half-present leftovers. It's not selfish to give yourself the best so that you have something else, so you have something real to offer everyone around you. That's actually the point. This is exactly why self-care isn't a luxury. And you've heard me say it before, self-care isn't selfish. Rest, exercise, eating well, making time for the hobbies and relationships that actually fill you up. These aren't indulgences you squeeze in when the schedule magically clears. Because, spoiler alert, the schedule never magically clears. These things have to be prioritized, not rescued from the scraps of your week. Because here's what we talked about in the first part of the podcast today. More hours isn't the answer. And neither is just rearranging your to-do list. The answer starts with asking yourself the same question that Dave Grohl has been asking all along. Are you getting the best of you? That's it for the show today. Check out the show notes. You can find those at holisticproductivity.com/63. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. I got new episodes dropping every single week. You don't want to miss that, and that's going to be the best way to get those delivered directly to you. If you got value from today's episode, I'd love to see a 5-star rating. Again, just do that on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, all of that stuff. It's just the best way to help other people find the show, and that's the reason I'm doing this. You can follow at Wholistic Productivity on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack. Check it out. Great productivity tips and motivation throughout the week. Every week you can find that on all of those social media platforms. And I want to invite you to join the Holistic Productivity community online. It's absolutely free. It's a great place for people like you who want to achieve their goals to come together and form a community. There's a lot of great resources there to help you stay accountable and motivated. And again, it's a great place to be. Link is in the show notes. You can find that there. Thank you again for listening, for taking this time for yourself by listening to this podcast. The reason that I do this, the reason that I host the podcast is to help you dream big, plan smart, and live fully. And I'm so excited that you are taking this first step to make that a reality. So, until next time, hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you next episode. Take care.